So today, we are grabbing the almighty sweet potato, truly one of the most underrated ingredients available to us, and creating the most incredible crispy baked sweet potato fries. Now the beauty of these fries is that they are so much healthier versus the fried version, and with the technique we're going to prep them and cook them in, they're still going to have that beautiful crispy texture on the outside, and the inside is just going to melt in your mouth, folks. Not only are these sweet potato fries super easy to make, but they're the perfect snack or side dish for any meal of the day, truly a French fry that is actually healthy for you. Let's begin by grabbing 2 large sweet potatoes, or you can use 3 medium-sized ones, and scrubbing them clean under some cold running water. Now to make these fries, I'm going to keep the skins on the sweet potatoes just to keep more nutrients in there, but if you prefer, you can peel the sweet potatoes. Then I'm going to pat the sweet potatoes completely dry, even though after we cut them, we're going to be adding them into some water. I like to pat them dry, that way they're not slippery when you cut them, which can cause an accident. Alright, let's start cutting our sweet potato fries. First, I like to cut off about 1 inch from each end of the sweet potato, which is 2.5 centimeters. Cut the sweet potato in half. And cut it into vertical slices that are 1/4 inch thick, which is a little over 1/2 centimeter. As you can see, I'm using a very large sweet potato, and I want my fries to be about 3 inches in length, which is 7.5 centimeters. If your sweet potatoes are smaller in size, you don't have to cut them in half. You just cut off the ends and then cut those vertical slices. And once again, we'll cut each piece of sweet potato into 1/4 inch pieces, which is a little over 1/2 centimeter, to end up with our sweet potato fries. And as you're cutting your sweet potatoes, transfer them into a large bowl. Once all the sweet potatoes have been cut and added into the bowl, I'm going to fill it with some cold water. You want to add in enough to just barely cover those sweet potatoes, and we're going to let this sit here for at least 30 minutes. Now this is one of the most important steps if you want to achieve that crispiness in sweet potato fries, as that water is going to help release the starch from the sweet potatoes, which at the end, it's going to help them achieve that crispiness. After at least 30 minutes, I'm going to drain the sweet potato fries into a strainer and rinse them under some cold running water. Then we'll shake off any of the excess water, transfer the sweet potato fries into a dishcloth, and making sure that they're all in a single layer. And we'll pat them completely dry. This is another step that's very important if you want to end up with crispy sweet potato fries. You want to ensure you remove all that water content, that way you don't end up with soggy fries. Then I'm going to transfer the sweet potato fries back into the large bowl. Drizzle in about 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, which is 30 milliliters. And we'll toss this together, that way each piece of sweet potato is coated in that olive oil. You can also do this with a large wooden spoon. Then I'm going to add in 1 tablespoon of cornstarch into a small bowl, which is 7.5 grams. Half a teaspoon of sweet smoked Spanish paprika, which is 1.15 grams. And 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, which is 1.5 grams. And we'll give this a whisk, that way everything's evenly mixed together. Now the cornstarch is the secret ingredient to giving these sweet potato fries that light crispy texture, so whatever you do, do not miss out on this step. Then we'll add in the mixture over the sweet potatoes, making sure to evenly spread it out. And once again, we'll toss this together, that way that mixture is evenly coating all the pieces of sweet potato, and you want to continue to do this until that mixture is no longer visible. Then I'm going to transfer the sweet potatoes into a baking tray that's lined with parchment paper. You want to use parchment paper here, that way once the sweet potato fries are done, they don't stick to the surface. And you want to make sure that all the pieces of sweet potato are on a single layer and evenly spaced out. This is another important step to achieve that light crispy texture in the sweet potatoes and ensure that you don't get soggy fries. And we'll add our baking tray into a preheated oven, bake and broil option, that's the bottom and top heat, 220 degrees Celsius, which is 425 degrees Fahrenheit, and you want to make sure you add it in the middle of the oven. Now if your oven doesn't do both functions at the same time, no big deal, just bake your sweet potato fries for about 10 minutes longer than I'm baking mine. After about 25 minutes, I'm going to remove the baking tray from the oven And using a spatula, we'll gently flip the fries, that way they can evenly crisp all around. And we'll add the baking tray back into the oven and go for another 10 to 15 minutes here. This is going to ensure that all the sweet potatoes are evenly crisped all around. And once again, if your oven doesn't do both functions, this is the step where you want to add an extra 10 minutes. After a total cooking time of 40 minutes on the sweet potato fries, that's 25 minutes on one side and 15 on the other, I'm going to remove them from the oven. Of course, every oven heats differently, so it might take you 5 minutes less or even 5 minutes more. And we'll immediately season our fries generously with sea salt and a kiss of freshly cracked black pepper. As you can see, I didn't salt them till the end. If you salt the sweet potato fries before you cook them, they might get a soggy texture to them. Then we'll transfer our sweet potato fries into a wire rack. And we're going to leave our sweet potato fries to sit here for about 5 minutes at room temperature. That way they can settle. This is the final step to give them that beautiful light crispy texture. In the meantime, I'm going to make a very simple saffron mayo, which goes incredible with these sweet potato fries. I'm going to add in 2 cloves of garlic that I roughly minced into a mortar. I'm also going to add in a 1/4 teaspoon of saffron threads, which is 0.17 grams. As always, the saffron threads I'm using are from Golden Saffron. In my opinion, the best saffron money can buy. Link where you can get some in the description box below. We'll add in a small pinch of sea salt, and using a pestle, pound down on the mixture until you form a paste. Then I'm going to add in half a cup of low-fat mayonnaise, which is 115 grams. You can also use regular mayonnaise here, or even vegan mayonnaise. 1 teaspoon of fresh lemon juice, which is 5 milliliters. And 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, which is 15 milliliters. We'll lightly season with a little sea salt and some freshly cracked black pepper. And we'll mix this together until we end up with a creamy sauce, which as you can see, comes together within just seconds. After leaving our sweet potato fries to rest for at least 5 minutes, let's start plating our dish. I'm going to transfer the sweet potato fries into a serving dish. Add in our saffron mayo alioli. And we'll sprinkle them with some finely chopped fresh parsley. Check it out, our crispy baked sweet potato fries are done. So easy to make, beautiful presentation, but most importantly, those fries are not soggy and they have a beautiful light crispy texture to them. Let's give them a try and see how they taste. All right, folks, moment of truth. Let's see how these turned out. Beautiful. Light crispy texture on the outside, and the inside just melts in your mouth. And that saffron garlic aioli just takes it to the next level. You saw this, very easy to make, so much healthier than frying those sweet potatoes. Give these a try at home. You are gonna absolutely love them. Really quick before I go, a shout out to a couple of my patrons, Dr. Michael Barvitz, Michael and Kelly Thompson, and Terry K. Clean. Again, guys, thank you so much for being patrons of Spain on a Fork. You know how much I appreciate you. For the rest of you, if you're not with me on Patreon and you'd like to support Spain on a Fork, you'll find my Patreon link in the description box below and iCard above. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button, leave me a comment below, and don't forget to share this video with your family and friends. That way our Spain on a Fork community can continue to grow. Till the next time, hasta luego. Another video done. These are highly addictive. They're healthy too. Give me a try, you're gonna love them. See you in the next video, love ya.